Good morning, class. I believe everyone is fine, and it's a good day that God has given us again. Now, today we are going to handle a new topic that is components of a computer, and we'll have a very short time to discuss this briefly. Therefore, our objectives of the day for this lesson. In this class, we are going to specifically look into the components of a computer. So before we even look into the components of a computer, I'll request you that if anyone has got a question, feel free to raise up your hand on your screen, then we'll be able to get the answers. Now, let us see what's a computer before we see what a computer entails. Now, if you look at your screen, there is a document I'm sharing about the components of a computer. So, a computer is any machine that can be programmed to carry out a set of algorithms and arithmetic instructions. Specifically, the main purpose why a computer was made was to do mathematics, and later on it was now used to do various programming activities. So the computer we think of today are so much more than that, and I'm talking beyond just being machines used to play games and watch videos and maybe cards on the internet. So I'm talking about some sophisticated machines or computers more than just mobile phones. So let us see what are the components of a computer, having known what the computer is. So a computer is made up of the 5 major sections or 5 major parts, one of them being the motherboard, and then we have what is known as the central processing unit. We have what the graphics processing unit, the GPU, that is also known as the video card. Then it's also made up of the random access memory, that is we know it as a volatile memory. Then we have another component of the computer that is known as the storage component, and here we have got the hard disk drives and the solid state drives. Okay, now we are going to discuss one by one, or each at a time, and see how they look like. So if you look there, we have that is a motherboard, a computer motherboard, and that is how it looks like. So if you look into that picture, we have got the central processing unit at the center there. Then we have got the storage, that is where we have got the solid state drive and the hard disk drive. Then we have got the GPU, where we have got the graphic cards. Then we have the slots for RAM. So those are the main sections of the main components. Now let us discuss one of each and every one of them at a time. So I will share these notes to you. So in terms of construction, each of these main components are attached to the motherboard and then put into a protective case. So when we look at the physical computer, that is what we call the protective case, the physical hardware that you can see. Then we have got the very important hardwares that have been installed inside there. Now let us look at the motherboard. So just a second. Sorry, Sharon. I'm just sharing the window again. So, are you able to see it? Sharon, are you able to see that window?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, thank you. Now, we are going to talk about the motherboard. So, what is a motherboard, or what does it entail? So, all components of a computer communicate through a circuit board called the motherboard, as we mentioned above. So, what is the function, or what does it do? So, think of the motherboard as the glue that holds everything else together. Now, if you have got maybe maybe let me talk of a radio. Everything that connects all the components in a radio is the motherboard. So the motherboard is where everything is attached to. So the motherboard's video card and central processing unit are contained in an integrated built-in chipset, also known as the integrated circuits, that are shown in the picture that we are going to see here. So if you look at this picture, this is how the motherboard looks like. So if you look at this, this is the chipset. Then we have got other components, the north bridge, the south bridge. We have got the power, connections to power, and every other thing else is connected to the motherboard. So all the input and output devices such as keyboard, mouse, and speakers get plugged into the motherboard. Let us look at the CPU. What is the function of the CPU? So CPU is considered as the brain of the computer. So what does your brain do anyway? So without your brain, I don't think if somebody can think properly. So the CPU is the major controller of the computer. So it does everything. This is where all the programs are run, all the processes, be it arithmetic, be it math, are done at the CPU. So that is the brain of the computer. Then we have got the graphics processing unit, the GPU. This one, it's not common to hear gamers obsess over the next new graphic cards. So when you are a gamer, or maybe you are somebody who likes gaming, you will realize that when new technologies come in, such as the graphics cards, so the new or the modern computers, when they come in with very powerful graphic cards. So the gamers will always be obsessed with the type of graphics card that is coming in with the new technology. So graphics specifically helps in display of visuals such as video games, and generally graphics like in maybe in 3D and so on. So what it does, graphics card often communicate directly with the display monitor. That means that maybe $1,000 graphics card won't be of much use if there isn't a high-end monitor connection to it. So a good graphic card goes with a good monitor. Let's look at the random access memory. So the random access memory, we've said that it's a volatile memory, and its main function, let me stop sharing a bit, then I share back again. My slide is not doing good. So good. So let us look at the random access memory. Are you able to see my screen, Langat? Somebody seeing my screen? So anyway, let us just complete the last one, that is the random access memory. So the RAM is also known as a volatile memory, and it stores data temporarily. Its work is to store data temporarily while being used by the central processing unit or the processor. So this is where the processor buffer or keeps the data temporarily. That's why we say it's volatile. When the work of that data has been is complete, or the processor is done with the data that is kept there, then it's erased to give space for new data that will be used by the processor. So storage, also we also talked about another component of storage, that is the SSD, the solid state drives, and the hard disk drive. So these ones are majorly used for keeping large amounts of data. So here we can keep data, we can delete, we can modify, and use them for future use. So up to that point, I want to inquire if somebody has got a question. Somebody who has a question, we want to stop at that point. So if there is no question, I'll stop the class at that point, and I thank you all for attending the class. Let's meet next time. Thank you. You can leave at will.